I am so fortunate to be here with Bob Burg, co-author of one of my favorite all-time books, The Go-Giver. Bob, hi. Thank you for joining us. We are so delighted to have an opportunity to have a Q&A session with you on November 12th 8:30 Eastern time. Information's below. But Bob, everybody's like, which book should we read before we get on? People love your content. And I wanted to bring to you, I invite everyone to read The Go Giver. Would that be the book that you would also suggest? Because you've written 4 books, which is so impressive that there's a series. I didn't even know that there was a series. So The Go
Thank
Giver, if people are like, okay, so I want to read the book before we get on the call on November 12th, you would invite them to just read the first one, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd go with the first one, and that's going to share the original 5 laws that John David Mann, my awesome co-author, and I share in the book, the laws of value, compensation, influence, authenticity, and receptivity. And when we do our Q&A, I'll go deeper into those laws. So those who have read the book first, they'll have a basic understanding of those, and I think it will make a lot more sense.
Excellent. Okay, so I had a question, and we decided to do this video so he could answer the question live from one of our coaches. They wanted you to touch on how to get out of the selling mindset and get more into the giving mindset. How would you answer that question?
Well, first, let me just share how we understand or how we would define, giving in this case. So when we say the go-giver, really, we're talking about shifting your focus from getting to giving. Giving in this context simply meaning constantly and consistently providing immense value to others, understanding that doing so is not only a more fulfilling way of conducting business, it's the most financially profitable way as well. Not for some magical, mystical, way out there, woo woo type of reasons. It actually makes very logical, practical sense. When you're that person who can take your focus off yourself and place it on serving others, discovering their needs, their wants, their desires, helping them solve and overcome their challenges, moving them closer to happiness, people feel good about you. They feel great about you. They want to get to know you. They like you. They trust you. They want to be in relationship with you. They want to do business with you. They want to tell the world about you, to be what we call your personal walking ambassador. Okay, so that's what we mean by giving. But now let's look at the question: how can we move from a selling mindset to a giving mindset? I'd like to reframe this a little bit, because I'm going to suggest that selling is giving when you're doing it correctly. See, what most people, when they say, I'm sure you've heard a lot of people when you've spoken to them about the business, they've said, "Well, I don't really like selling," or "I could never sell." And when people say they don't like selling, it's really not that they don't like selling; it's what they think selling is. Right. See, if you think of selling as trying to convince someone to buy something they don't want or need, well, and by the way, that's not selling, that's called being a con artist. But if that's what you think of selling, of course you wouldn't want to do that. But what selling really is, by definition, is simply discovering what the other person does need, does want, does desire, and helping them to get it. Now, here's the thing: the word sell comes from the Old English word "selan," which meant to give. So when you're
Mm.
selling, you're literally giving. Now, someone might say, "Well, wait a second, selling, giving, isn't that just semantics?" Right? I don't think so. And let me explain why. Let's say you have a person in front of you, a prospect. Maybe it's about their being your customer or client. Maybe it's about their joining you in the business. But you're in a sales conversation. You are selling. Now, what exactly then are you giving that person? I suggest you're giving them time, attention, counsel, education, empathy, and most of all, exquisite value. So when we look at selling that way, we see it's not a matter of selling or giving, selling or helping, selling or sharing. We see that selling is exactly all of those things.
Fantastic. Thank you, Bob. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our attendees before our Q&A with you on November 12th? That was fantastic.
I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody there, and we're just going to have a really fun time.
Great. Thank you. I can't wait. I'm so excited.